All right, I want to bring in our panel now. We're joined by Dominic Carter, of course, here, Andrew Whitman, and also Anthony Figlioli. He is a political consultant and vice president of Empire Government Strategies. Guys, welcome in. And a couple things before we even start. They only put in the report what there was complete unanimity with. So, and again, these are three of the biggest, most acknowledged scientists. The thing would have been even substantially worse if they just took what the majority or 80% of them believed. So the 3% temperature increase, many of the guys in there think you're going to get to 5 degrees much sooner than they wanted to even put in the report. So my point is, this is watered down. Okay, I still get to the point, how do you get anybody to do something about it? Presidents have enough trouble getting one signature issued through. Imagine trying to get the world leaders to agree on this. Short of scaring the living daylights out of people or another disaster, I don't know, Dominic, how we do what we have to do and show some political courage, let alone some sacrifice, as a global community, and the U.S. has got to take the lead. I don't see how this happens, and I think it's completely looking at a train wreck if we don't.
I hate to be the one to tell you this, but unless we scare folks together, scare folks all around the world, and starting with members of Congress, nothing is going to happen. We are looking at a train wreck that's going to occur. The experts are ringing the alarm bell, as your interview just showed, and as usual, there are some in Congress, I'm not specifying the party, that they're just in denial.
Well, I'll give you one. The Republican Party today, Andrew, they said that they wanted from now on a key governmental agency to stop talking about climate change and worry more about weather forecasting. It's almost like, I don't see anything coming down. I don't see the train coming down the pike. Let me just tell me what's in front of me now, like they're not connected.
Well, one thing we can do globally is to lead by example and to take the lead on and maybe try to stimulate green jobs or areas that would actually help reduce some of the problems with climate change. Obviously, that's a big hurdle with our own Congress right now. But if we can just get people to focus on the money involved in our politics when it comes to climate change, as opposed to questions about whether climate change is actually happening. The money is the corporate interest that doesn't want to pay more, doesn't want to have to deal with the extra regulation, doesn't want to have to do the extra step to try to alleviate or arrest climate change, because it eats into their profits. Well, find out where that money is going to in the political process, and I think you understand the political opposition to it.
I'll be honest, I didn't really care about environmental issues until all of a sudden I got kids, and then I said, wait a minute, we're looking to move. I'm not moving to a seaside community here. I saw what happened with Sandy. I don't need, these kind of decisions, me and millions other like me start to think about that they factor into what you think. But I don't know. It's if you take it like population explosions, like we have too many people growing at too fast a rate, it almost gets too big to attack it at all. How do you think politically it's viable to do something different than we've done for the last 10 years? Because we know for a fact this thing's going to get worse. Even if we do something about it, we're not going to just make it go away, but at least we can mitigate it. You're around these guys. You're around trying to put together campaigns to convey a thought or an idea, or let alone a person. How does the dialogue change on this?
I think for one, you have to exploit natural resources that you have here in America. And I'm not just talking about natural gas and oil, but wind and solar. And with natural gas and oil is to be able to generate more of that here in America, and also to be able to export to nations that are burning coal and other very bad fossil fuels.
Make it an industry thing,
You have
right?
to make it at first, because President Obama can't go to the president of China and say, I want you to stop all fossil fuel burning. That's not going to work. It's all about, as Andrew said, it's about the economics of the issue. And if you can utilize that, there's a possibility that perhaps some of these other nations will be able to sort of go offline, maybe go into more nuclear, things that are less particulates into the atmosphere. Until that happens, you're going to just continue to see smog in all different types of nations.
Do you think there's a certain point, though? I mean, Sandy obviously got people's attention and stuff, but that there is such natural calamities. I mean, think about how much we hated winter around here. I mean, my God, right? I mean, we're still complaining about it, about how long this winter was. But is there an event or a series of things that say, wait a minute, well, we can't keep doing this anymore. We got to do something about it. Do you think that happens or no?
No, because all politics are local. There are people in the South, elected officials, that they view Sandy as a storm that just hit northeastern states. Richard, the problem is you have some in Congress that want to do away with the EPA.
Yeah.
So how are we going to
Yeah.
deal with climate control
you're right.
when they want to do away with an entire
We
agency?
thought the same thing about Sandy Hook and guns. I don't think any one specific incident is going to change people's minds in one overwhelming.
I wish I could tell you I
Push.
think you're wrong here, but there's no evidence to point to the contrary. Okay. Thank you, guys. And please, at home, go to Facebook and Twitter and tell us what you have to say about this. Would you be willing? This is what it comes down to. You want to do something about this, you got to sacrifice it. Would you be willing, personally here, to give a little if it meant to slowing climate change here and make any sacrifices, even in your own pocketbook, paying additional taxes, et cetera, to it? Okay, when we come back, we will switch gears to, as Dominic says, all politics being local. Well, a local issue in the metropolitan area, the future of Playland Park, the only county-run amusement park in the country, is again facing questions today after a nonprofit committed to rescue it has now decided, thanks but no thanks, we're off the project. What is next for it and other local issues in our region? Our panel weighs in.